I'd like to first ask, how many are the freshers here? Can you put your hands up? Wow. The other college from first to fifth year. The other students who just entered now. Fantastic. Okay. When I got the invite, I'd like to start from there, from Dr. Prabhakar. Thank you, Dr. Prabhakar, and all the dignitaries on the stage, all the parents and students and the guests. Share with you more than giving you advice, because I remember a time when I will talk in short period because we have others, but I remember a time when I was 18 years old, and I'd been to a spiritual lecture with my mother, and I remember the Swamiji giving the ideals that this is where you should be, this is how you should be in life, and this is good for you in life to achieve something. When I came back home, I remember asking my mother, okay, these are ideals. How do I reach there is more important for me, because I am here and Swamiji has told me to go there, but the journey from here to there is very, very important. And my mother shared whatever she could at that time. Today I feel that I am here honestly, I was not to come in this coat because my wife pushed me, no, you have to wear the coat. But I wanted to wear a white, which we wear in the clinic, like you all will be wearing, because I wanted to feel like you all. That's so beautiful, because it reminds me of my days. Whatever I share with you, I shall share with you in points, and I hope even 1% if I'm able to contribute to some wisdom, some learning to achieve there. We are all here now, starting. So if you can reach there, this helps you, I'll be very, very happy and thankful. I shall share one very important thing before I start. About 10 years, 15 years back, I was invited as the guest speaker in a big program, organization where there were teachers, special educators and clinical psychologists. So it was invited by Dr. Ali Khwaja, if you have heard. He's very, very famous in India. He's in Bangalore. So he invited me and said, Doctor, just speak for 10 minutes, hashtag. Then the real speakers will come. We are not wanting you for lectures. So I asked him, sir, I can't speak. That's why you are limiting only 10 minutes. He said, no, that's enough. 10 minutes, Sako. Then the speakers will start. To be honest with you, everything that I'm sharing with you, I went on the stage that day, zero preparation, zero knowledge, just 15 years back, 20 years back. I stood on the stage, 300 people, teachers, special educators come from all over India. I had no idea what I was going to speak. And suddenly, an incident of my life when I was in the 8th standard came in my mind. Suddenly, it was actually the technical word for doctors is repressed, but it was for simple understanding suppressed. It had gone into in the 8th standard, my father was a doctor captain and he was in St. John's High School, and he was, which is one of the biggest 1,500 students at that time. And he was the chief guest of the school for all occasions. And in the 8th standard, when I will not go into the detail, but I will just tell you, when the report card came, I had failed. Absolutely failed. I was so afraid because I was a rogue in school. I was getting benders. Why am I sharing this to you? It's very important. Failure is the start to success. And whatever I am going to share today with you is nothing great. Nothing that I have achieved. Honestly, what I am going to share with you is through failures, through my difficulties, what I learned, which may be of help to you if you keep it in mind, hopefully. So when I failed, I didn't tell the truth to my parents. When I went home, my parents asked me, my dad was a doctor captain, in fact. He said, did you get the report card? I said, no, nothing. I was so scared, shit scared. I had failed. And I was a last bencher, a rogue actually. I used to get benders from principal. He used to tell me, you're a shame. Your father is the chief guest. in 1500. I said, okay, what can I do? And teacher asked me when I came back, where is the report card signed from your parents? I said, no, my parents are out of station. So this story of lying went on for 7 to 8 days. One day my teacher called me at the end of the class and said, Deepak, please go home. We have spoken to your parents already. And my world came down. I was waiting, go home. My father's fingers were two of mine. I said, I'll get a thrashing. I went home. This was in Frasertown. And this is 100% what actually happened in short. I saw my father coming down here in the first floor. He had a scooter. And he just made his hand like this. I said, gone. This is on the road. He is going to thrash me now. With trepidations, I was standing on the road. My father came down, he removed the scooter. And I was wondering, what is scooter happening now? Where is he going to take me? He came, he said, sit down. Imagine if you had failed, you had lied both sides. How will you answer? Nothing. You don't know what to do. You are already guilty. You have lied. You have failed in your own eyes also. And he sat on the scooter and he started driving. He came near Alsur Lake. Now I was wondering, this guy is going to throw me in Alsur Lake now finally. I don't know what is going to happen because this was abnormal. How can someone treat you like this, in this way, suspense, when you have failed and lied, everything. We passed Alsur Lake, then I had a sigh of relief. Now where is he taking me? He finally took me to Gandhi Bazaar. I'll cut it short. To a hotel which was one of my favorites, and even now it's my favorite, Vidyarthi Bhavan. He took me to the hotel, parked the scooter and said, come sit down. I said, no, I'm not hungry at all. Nothing, no food, nothing. He said, sit down. I went and sat down. And he said, what do you want? I said, no, I'm not hungry, nothing. Well, who will be hungry at that time? My God. And he said, no, he ordered dosa. When I had the dosa, I was like shivering and eating that dosa. And my father told me, he used to call me Deepu, in short time, Deepak. He said, Deepu, see, we came to know that you had lied and you had done all this because you failed. And he said that, I'd like to tell you today, I was not able to talk to my father. I was scared of him. My mother was my lifeline. He said, I'd like to share with you today that failure is a part of life, my son. I am not sharing with you how many times I must have failed in so many things in life, in my behavior, in my work, in so many things. So I'd like to tell you, in short, he said that we love you and we would like you to not worry and just do your best. Now I don't know what happened to Deepu at that day, but in short, after that whole episode, because this was live, which came out of me also live, now I'm repeating something in short. That seminar, that doctor had said 10 minutes, but everyone was stunned, including me. And it was almost 25 minutes and then they said declared the interval, actually. And we all went out for tea, etc. And the lot of ladies came and sat with me and spoke to me. They said, Doctor, you shared that your father did all this to you. What about your mother? Didn't she help? Wasn't she responsible? And believe me, it struck me at that time. My mother would have told my father, this is how we have to behave with this guy. Otherwise, things won't work. And then I realized it was my mother who had told my father, don't get angry and let's work together. And believe me, when I did the 8th standard again, I was, with the grace of God, blessings of parents, I was in the first 3 all along my whole life. I was the best. I was a singer, I was a musician, I represented school for cricket, I think basketball, hockey, all together in the 8th standard. And that's a journey. So what I want to share is, thank you. Failure will not define you. Do not be afraid of failure. I have failed, I have done mistakes thousands of times. And what I'm sharing with you in short, a few points, especially to all of you. Yeah? Okay? Okay? Okay. I liked responses. I was invited to once long back a government college. The minister had told him, call Dr. Deepak to talk. This is honest. This is not about the minister. I have many coming. I went to the college and the principal asked me long back. He said, Deepak, what do you want, doctor? Tell me. Which class you want? I said any class is okay. Ideally now in my stage I would like the final and the postgraduate. I don't know what else to do and I had an opportunity. Only 3 sessions I took. I feel so proud Those 3 sessions, of that one of them, the college allowed the students of, I think, final year to come to my clinic. I have a reasonably very big center. And I showed them a movie and gave them popcorn and juices and then explained to them what is the learning. The movie was Patch Adams. Please watch it if you get it. Patch Adams. It's a story which is very, very famous of a guy whose story of compassion to patients was unlimited. Now, very important thing was, the first thing which I have learned is laying the foundation. Do you all agree that when you build a building, the foundation is very important? Yes or no? Yes. If the foundation is weak, what will happen? Collapse. I want response from you all. You are my focus. All the others are part of the cycle. What happens? If the foundation of a building is weak, what would happen? Huh? Collapse. Similarly, again, this is not a lecture. This is where I faltered and what I learned. For you, the first year is going to be beautiful. It may be tough, but it's beautiful. And please understand, you will remember, if I am alive, maybe when you finish out and 10-15 years later, what I am telling you is out of experience and nothing is a lecture. That the foundation that you are laying now in your first year, second year, third year is going to be the key to you. There is a beautiful saying, I tell all the assistant doctors who had come over the years. In fact, there were some of them your professors earlier. 5 years of happiness in college, 50 years of suffering in practice. 5 years of struggle in college, dedication, sacrifice. 5 years, 50 years of happiness in practice. Financially, socially, recognition, in everything. This is very important to you. Have fun. But do not forget, this is your foundation. The more and more you focus, the more and more you will grow. Point number 1. Point number 2, very important is, please, I have learned this when I did my post-graduation. I was under one of the legends of homeopathy, Dr. M.L. Zavle. And he ground us there. And what I learned was reference. Please stick to reference of source books. When I was there at that time, we had Dubey. If you look at shortcuts, I would look where I was doing smart working. Shortcut किधर है? Learn hard, short में देखो, marks ले लो. Finish the marks, pass out. फिर देखा जाएगा. This was the strategy. It did work, but I realized later in practice the references that I had to do with the source books. Do not forget to look at the source books. Which are the source books? At least 1 or 2. Do you know first year source books? Which one? Allen. Very good. Source books. Allen, Herring, Clark, Boric. Boric is a manual again. But source books are the source where the, medicine was given and the pharmacological study was output and the symptoms are there. Provings. Always refer the source books and make points. I promise you, you will do great after that. So always refer to reference books as you study. Don't get carried away by smart manuals. That's good. Smart working, do it. But do not forget to go back quietly and refer at the source books. That will stand you in long run in practice. Third, very important is, I have found from my mistakes and learning, never ever, I feel, if I am wrong, please, you can leave it, be impressed by people. If you find me, oh, he's told so well at the end of it, and don't be worried about me. Take my experience. Any people in your life you will come across who you will be impressed by, have them as your idol. But don't get stuck to that person. Get stuck to his learning. Whatever they teach you which has touched you, please hold on to that. You will be unprejudiced observer. Aphorism number? I don't remember. 2, 3, 4, I don't know, whatever it is. Huh? Unprejudiced observer. There are million things I can talk, but I'm putting it down and telling you. So whenever you are impressed by someone, even if it's anyone on this planet, I feel so, take their learning. Buddha is very, very connected to what I am. When I went to Kailash to answer over. So I still don't get connect. I connect very deeply with Buddha, very deeply with big M.L. Davle, Shankaran, all of them I had an opportunity personally to be with. In fact, they called me for speaking. They asked, pay money to speak to listen to Dr. Deepak in Bombay by Shankaran. But what was important was, I realized later, is not Dr. Shankaran, I respect, but the learnings, because then you have a strong foundation. Hold on to the learnings of that. People will come and go, no problem. Fourth important. So that should be, focus is very vital. I will give you an example of focus in my practice. I had 3 clinics at a point in time, 20 years back. 3 clinics. But if I'm honest, when I realized later, I was looking at money. All of you must be worried, paisa, I should be, at least girls will be less, paisa nahi, acha ladka milega if you're not in love. But some good guy where my name doctor will come, fantastic. But for me, I realized when I had the 3 clinics, I was doing well. I was going at different places. But one day when I was talking to patients, I have seen patients across 16 countries today. They come to me, I never go. And I realized before that one day that I am going to so many places, clinics, because maybe there's an insecurity within me somewhere that if I go to more places, I will learn more. I will get more patients. Believe me, and when patients come, thank God to my teachers when I did my post-graduation, they taught me in relevance to Gita. Homeopathy and Gita was taught to me, including Kama Sutra. It was such an enlightening experience to understand the core, because each human being who comes in front of you is like you with his flaws. How are you going to understand and accept that and be unprejudiced? That is what is unprejudiced. You don't, if someone has a bad marriage as a doctor, if a person comes with a bad marriage, how will you handle that? You may start talking to that person about, oh, women are terrible. I mean, I had a bad, maybe in a good way. But if you are resolved, if you have resolved your life and accepted and moved on, forgiven, gone ahead, loved and gone ahead, there are chances that your words, which are conviction, when you share with that patient, it will touch that person. Conviction and truth only works, today I realize this. If you start with this, I promise you, you will do lakhs and crores of rupees as income. You don't need to be doing allopathic doctors. My father is a doctor captain. He refers, I get reference today, like other doctors also from hospitals. They send me patients, big hospitals. And I respect, when I'm on television there, we all sitting, we all try to learn. I learn from them so much. Never compete. I only compete with myself. Very important thing I learned. Please remember this. This will stand with you in long run. One more important thing is distractions. You will have hundreds of distractions that will come on to you in different ways. Like I said earlier, focus will play a significant role in practice. More you focus now for this 6 years, your life is done. Trust me. And in connection to that, my request to all of you, this is my experience, is after you finish, do not start practice. I'm sorry, this is my suggestion. Do not start practice. Go and work in a government hospital, fantastic, because you'll see a lot of patients, no harm. But try when you finish to, whichever works for you, try to be connected to one source of application. Like when I joined, it was ICR. First, if you believe, first evaluate and then join one, study that in depth. I went to ICR and did my whole program for 5 years after I finished, 4 years. So it can be, there are Segal methods, ICR, there are many methods. I feel, work with one. Take time out. Don't be in a hurry to start earning. Money will come 100%. If cure is given, if support is given, 100% patients will come. And now coming back to what I said, I stopped both my clinics, and at a point in time, I only stuck to one clinic. And believe me, I realized I am not focusing. I am focusing on money, and I am not focusing on that poor chap who is paying me and coming to me. I am doing my best. But deep down, if you are a good human being and a better physician, I realized I should focus. And trust me, the day I closed both and started focusing on that patient and not money, today people pay me before they start. I don't want to talk more about all that, but because I want to encourage you, you will earn unlimited amount of money. Focus, very important, and have faith. That faith will come from your foundation. And then from one teacher who you learn with for a longer 2 years, one method. And once the method is done, then you can fly. You can learn from all different sources. But you have one. Instead of one, it will be tough. I feel so. So please keep this in mind. Take one area with one physician, one method of practice, go deep till you are convinced. One or two more, like I said earlier to you, less is more. Do you believe less is more? Less is more. Have you heard? Have you heard? Yes or no? I mean, are you shocked or stunned or bored or what? Huh? You can answer. Have you heard this sentence? Less is more. Yes or no? Yes. Madam is okay. You have reached the point to know that now. Good. Less is more. Sir, any one of you? Sir? Less, Dr. Sanjay? Less is more. Very important, I have learned over my life. Less in terms of talking, less in terms of showing, less in terms of my practice locations, less even when if ever you do and connect with people or write an article. Do you see, if you write in Times of India paper, there is only one sentence. Teacher teaches well. Do you think how many will read? Almost 1 lakh subscribers will read that if there are 3 words or no. Correct? If you have 100 words, chances are much less people would have seen it. So it is very, very important to realize this. Less is more. You will get much more if it is a little less and not scattered. Very important, whether it's learning things or anything else. So this is one very important learning that I had. And last but not the least, just to share that when you focus, freshers, when you focus, you are the soil for homeopathy. My father is the doctor captain, but I used to earn more than my father. Why am I saying this to you? Is because if I can motivate you, and there are people, especially guys, there are guys in your freshers. Where are the guys? Put your hands up. My dear friends, we are all together. We will all worry, let me earn more. Class barlappa, mikidilla kategalu bidi. Doctor ella lecture put hogtare. Anna, lecture alla idu. Please trust me. Focus and you will earn more than your 10 neighbors in Bangalore. I learned that the hard way. And homeopathy has beautiful practice later, and all the doctors and hospitals respect you. So with this small sharing of my mistakes in life and learnings, I'd like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to share. Thank you so much, and God bless you.